Folks, get out of the way. Make sure we're aware of where the mics are, so we know who's asking questions. We've got one there, we've got one there. Who wants to do something?
Pat, in all the Test match wins you've been a part of, where does that one rank? Is it number one?
Number one, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Start of an Ashes series, number one.
Was there any point there where you were actually confident that you were definitely going to be able to pull it off until the winning runs were actually hit?
Probably when we got down to about 10 or so, I thought, or maybe 16 or something, then we needed like 2 runs and over, and I felt pretty confident, but it felt like from almost the first session of day one, it was 50-50 the whole way along. Like it never felt like it swung too far one way or the other. And I reckon that was the same until about, 15, 20 minutes ago. It just felt 50-50 the whole match.
Pat, just looking on from the outside, it looked like you and Nathan Lyon were doing it very matter-of-factly, but he's not generally the coolest of people. How was he out there? And how did you make it look so cool?
He was really good. I think you hear everyone say, and it's really true, like when you're in the change room and it's not in your control, you get way more nervous than you do actually out in the middle. Once you're kind of in the moment and in control, you can't, I don't know, just you feel, oh, well, it's mine to win or lose, it doesn't really matter. But Nath was awesome. He was really chilled. When he's batting, he's always pretty talkative. So, I think he helps him out, but it helped me out as well. We're pretty chilled out there.
Pat, Ollie Robinson said earlier in this test that you guys have 3 number 11s. I don't think he was talking about you, but with Nathan and Scott and even Josh, who was probably a bit nervous watching on there, did they kind of use that as fuel?
I didn't hear that one. Leachy did all right at the number 11 last series as well. It's something we all practice. Nate puts a lot of time into it when he's back home as well. He puts a lot of time into his batting. So, we all had pretty strong plans. Even I think the adjustment from the first innings, got a couple of bumpers and everyone went out there with pretty clear plans. So, proper team effort.
Pat, there was a period there, Joe and Ben bowling with the old ball where the score didn't go very far. You then took on Joe and hit him for a couple of sixes. Firstly, was it a plan to take the game as deep as you could, and was that moment something you felt you had to do something to get some momentum back?
It really ebbed for pretty much all today, but it felt like if the scoreboard wasn't ticking over, 70 felt a long way away. Joe, as an off-spinner, to me, felt like probably my best chance to score some runs, so I just thought if the ball's in my area, you're going to go for it. Same with Alex Carey. He did the same. Unfortunately, didn't come off for him, but I think that's our best way to try and chase down those runs. And then, once we got a little bit closer, it felt like you could get 1 or 2 and over, kind of without taking so many risks.
Pat, what did you think was the most decisive or the most decisive moments of the Test match?
I think Uzi was probably the most decisive player. The most decisive moment. Don't know really. I felt, bowling him out yesterday, I felt like 280 odd was a total that we should chase down.
Just wondered if your team was 8 for 393 and your best batsman was flying on 100, would you declare?
Probably not, no.
Were you surprised?
Not overly surprised. But, the wicket felt pretty good, so I thought every run was pretty much needed in that first innings.
Hi, Pat. Over here. Maybe it's too soon, but did memories of Headingley at all come into it? The fact that you and Nathan played such central roles 4 years ago, and your kind of devastation at the end of the winning runs being hit versus your elation at the winning runs being hit this time.
Yeah, I would be lying if I said it didn't. We've been on the other side of it. last series. So I think, just what a wonderful test match, really hard fought, and it's one of those ones when, you're on the other side, but it really hurts. Feels like one that got away. So it's a pretty happy dressing room in there at the moment to be 1-0 up in the series, and a lot of those guys were there at Headingley, so to feel like we clinched one kind of that perhaps was out of our grasp there for a little while is pretty satisfying.
Pat, there's been a lot said about the different styles of play and maybe slightly different philosophies. Do you think that the contest between that is part of what made this such a brilliant test?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. We've been big on how we want to play. I think we've been pretty consistent over the last 20 test matches. And, this time it was, good enough to get the win. A couple of key players missed out as well, which, doesn't tend to happen. So, really happy that, again, away test matches are really hard to win. So to come over here and win that first one, going about it the way that we want to, is it's been a great week.
And just the way England play, just how much that contributed to it as well?
To the spectacle.
Yeah.
I think it's, fans obviously enjoy it. They're pretty noisy out on the hill. I think it looks maybe a little bit different to some test matches in the past, but
Pat, just on that, sorry, there's a bit of sort of discussion about the tempo that you guys played and the contrast that it was. Now that you've seen their approach sort of firsthand, are you happy? Is the result vindication of the way you played, or do you think you need to tweak anything now that you've got an idea of how they come at it?
I think win or lose, we're pretty comfortable in how we go about it. We've been really good for the last 20 test matches, a couple of years, so winning's nice. I think we're at our best when we play at our own pace, our own tempo. I think that wicket being quite slow probably slowed down that tempo that we're normally at times as well. You saw someone like Uzi, just the way he managed and negotiated his way through an innings was pretty special.
Pat, you'll be aware of the comparisons with 2005. Australia won the first test then and lost the series. What are you going to do to make sure that doesn't happen again?
There's been a lot of talk this week about 2005, but I think we were all about 10 years old when that happened. So, honestly, I've seen the last over highlights, but that's about it. 2019 is probably the series we look at the most because most of us were here, and that kind of, 2-2 at the end of the series, that felt like kind of unfinished business. So, again, we played, obviously, England this first test match, but India, a week ago as well. So we feel like we're well suited to these conditions. We're used to them. We're a fairly stable team, and we know what we need to do to be at our best, and we'll just keep doubling down on that.
Pat, not just in your reign, but well before that, Australia hasn't won many close tests over the years, tends to dominate tests. How important is it to be able to win some close ones just for confidence and the experience of the group? And also, did you think back at all to your first test in South Africa in 2011 in similar circumstances?
I think it's huge in that, you just need that belief to be able to win from anywhere. I think in T20 cricket, because there's so many close games, that's where you talk about momentum and confidence and those kind of things. But it's the same in Test cricket, having that belief that anyone's a match winner. You can be the guy to step up and win. These are the moments that when you're in the backyard playing as a kid, you wish to be in these moments, and seeing, going out there and being in the middle of an Ashes series, having that drive, that's what you want from every teammate. So, it's great to be on the winning side. Thinking back to debut, again, I actually did. I was at one stage, batting out there with Nathan. I was imagining back in the sheds praying like he was in my debut test.
Pat, firstly, congratulations. There were some really beautiful moments after that match and embraces. I'm not sure if that was your dad on the balcony of the change rooms. How special was it to be able to share that with him?
Yeah, just really special. yeah, Dad's been here all week, so I just feel really lucky to have him here. It's been a tough few months, so my brother's been here all week as well. Yeah, Dad was here in 2019 with Mum, so just having him here is just really special. So yeah, it's all. I went with him to Bruce Springsteen on the first night this week as well, so it's been a good week. He's pretty happy.
Pat, was that the plan to sort of, from the start of the day, just bat as many overs as possible and see how it goes?
No, I wouldn't say that specifically. Again, just try and maximise the amount of runs we can get. The pitch wasn't really speedy, so probably took a little bit longer than would normally take, but just play at our own tempo. I lost a few early wickets, so just rebuild.
Did you at any time consider playing for the draw in that last session?
Playing for the draw? No. I think maybe we've got a bit closer and we'll 9 down. You might think about it, but no, never.
Can I just follow up on the Bruce Springsteen? Did you say you went to Bruce Springsteen that night? And if so, what song did you actually get to? Because you couldn't have got there at the beginning.
No, I got in there, I think it was whatever it is. I missed about the first 20 minutes. But yeah, he puts on a show like he always does, the boss. Great week. Thanks.
This is your fault.